What's up, guys? It's Max, Ben, and Jared, and we're here for another sports episode. Today, we're going to talk about the NBA offseason. We're going to talk about actual trades, and then we're going to end the episode with hypothetical trades. Let's get started. Ben, I want you to tell us the trade for Chris Paul to the Suns.
Yeah, sure. Before I get started, I'll just give the exact details of the trade. So OKC traded away Chris Paul and Abdel Nader to get Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, and a 2022 first-round draft pick. And my initial reaction is, oh, wow, the Suns just got Chris Paul, Devin Booker and Chris Paul, the backcourt, that's lit. Phoenix, with DeAndre Ayton at the 5, it's a pretty good trade for them. Thinking about it more, I realized that the Thunder again finessed another trade with their amazing front office. Who doesn't want Chris Paul? He had a great season, but his time in OKC was up. It was time for him to move on, and I think the Thunder did a good job getting this return for that player. Definitely.
Love that analysis you gave, but I think that the Suns needed Chris Paul more than the Thunder needed Chris Paul. And the Thunder GM, I don't even know who he is, but he did not listen to only the Suns' offer. He listened to everyone's offer and he accepted the best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this trade. I love it for the Suns and I love it for the Thunder. This trade helps both teams, and most importantly, it brings the Suns from a on the fringe team to a team that now will compete. And because of Chris Paul's veteran leadership, he is able to bring these young guys and make them studs. Jared, I want to hear what you have to say.
And I totally agree with what both y'all have to say. I think this is a great trade for both teams. The only difference for both teams is that they're in different positions in their building process. For the Suns, they want to win now. They have teams, they have parts of their puzzle. Chris Paul was just another piece of the puzzle. They are ready, and they want to go and make a run in the playoffs. For the Thunder, they are in a rebuilding phase. They are getting picks for the future. I have this pulled up on my phone. In 2020, they have Denver's number 25 overall pick plus the Lakers' 28 overall pick. In 2021, they have two most favorable of their own, Miami and Houston, at 5 through 30. And the list just goes on and on of all these futures.
So many picks.
The Thunder are trying to build for the future, while the Suns are trying to win now, which I totally agree on the trade for both teams. It's a fair trade.
Fair trade. The Suns want to win now, and they will take on Chris Paul's contract because they want to win, and it means more to win a championship than to save pennies. And the Thunder, we're gonna get to the next episode. The next topic. I know you want to talk, but we're running out of time. So the Thunder, they have picks, and they're gonna rebuild through the draft. We're talking about the draft tomorrow, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I like Chris Paul and the Suns. I think they're gonna be a good team.
Great team. I'm excited for the Suns. Ben, let's talk about Jrue Holiday and Bogdan Bogdanovic to the Bucks. Those are two separate trades, but I want you to give me both of them so we can discuss it all together.
Sure, yeah. So Jrue Holiday, they got from the Pelicans, and they traded away Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and listen to this, 3 first-round picks.
Wow.
Indiana, a 2020 first-round pick from Indiana, and then 2 unprotected first-round picks, one for 2025, the other 2027. And also there were 2 first-round pick swaps for 2024 and 2026. So that's a lot. I think Milwaukee gave up way too much for the quality of player that Jrue Holiday is. I'll say that, right? Like, start that off. Given the fact that that's a very similar trade package to what they got for Anthony Davis. Jrue Holiday's a fantastic player. He's a great defender, but he is 30 years old, and he is not Anthony Davis. So I don't really know what exactly. I understand what the Bucks are thinking here. Jrue Holiday's a fantastic player. They definitely improve. I want to note that both teams, I think, improve with this trade, which is the same as the last trade as well. So I kind of like it.
That's the goal of a trade. Jared, what do you
Exactly.
think?
Man, I don't even know where to start. I think that the Bucks got trade raped.
Yeah.
They gave up their future, and they are trying to win now when they couldn't even win anything. They made it through the whole season, but as soon as they got to the bubble in the postseason, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, they choked when it mattered most.
Yeah. So I want to give my take on this. And Jared, you said the Bucks gave up their future in order to win now. You know what the Bucks' future is? The Bucks' future is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they didn't give anything up. They gave up a couple first-round picks, but those are going to be late first-round picks that don't even mean anything. If they lose Giannis, they're losing a generational player. And what did Giannis need? Giannis needed some help. Giannis got Holiday. Here, I'm going to read the starting five for the Bucks. Projected starting five will be Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Bogdanovich, Giannis, and Lopez. That's one of the best starting fives. And they're going to sign people through the draft. They'll sign people through free agency, and they're going to fill out the rest of their roster pretty well. Their job is to win now. There are a couple teams that want to win now and a couple teams that want to win in the future. And the beauty of the NBA offseason is that trades happen, the draft happens, and that's when teams start to find themselves. Like, you can't make up for a lost season by just talking about it. You got to make moves, you got to get trades, and you got to improve your team. I think the Bucks making this trade is showing that they're all in for Giannis. And I want to hear what Ben has to say because you're very eager to talk right now.
Yeah, I am. It is all for Giannis. I mean, he is. You hit the nail on the head. He's the generational player. He will do whatever it takes to keep him. I don't know if they did enough. I don't know if they went about this the right way. They have a great starting five right now, but they only have 7 rostered players now after both of those trades.
When's the next game though?
The next game's in a while. It's in a while.
So they need 5 players.
Actually,
70 days.
Yeah, it's not a long time at this point. It's just over a month.
And personally, Donnie DiVincenzo stepped up, and they need second-round picks. They need to literally trade for second-round picks. I honestly wouldn't be opposed to a first round in 2026 for 3 second-round picks this year. Like, they want to win now, and if they can pull off that trade, they'll win now.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have anything to say on this?
I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. We're saying a lot right now.
Yeah.
We're about losing our time with the actual trades. We don't want to make anyone feel like we're talking too much. We don't want to annoy our followers because I love my followers and I don't want to lose my followers. I'm not stopping Instagram. I am stopping posting so much on Instagram. I'm only going to post 1 video a day and maybe I'll go live. Like, did you see my live yesterday when I did push-ups with your friend? I might do something like that later today.
Cool. That was cool.
But like, that's it. I'll go live once and I'll post 1 video. And then I'm going to post 1 thing on my sports blog and that's going to be it. But here's what we're going to do for the rest of the video. We're going to talk about 1 hypothetical trade because we don't know where James Harden's going. And I want to know the best possible landing spot for James Harden. And then after we figure that out, we're going to talk about what impact that has on the rest of the league. Jared, I want you to start.
Harden needs to get out of the West. The West right now is just too packed, too many good teams. It's like I could name 6 teams off the top of my head that
are better than the Rockets.
Are better than the Rockets that are just going to –
I'll have the Suns to that list too.
At the Suns, yeah.
So I think Harden needs to get out of the West.
At the Grizzlies?
At the Grizzlies, the Mavs, both California teams, both LA teams, I mean.
The Warriors now?
The Warriors, yep.
I think
Listen,
the Warriors need to trade
yeah.
Andrew Wiggins and just get a big man. Like Vucevic would be big. Like they need a big man.
Harden needs to get out of the West, but I've seen and I know everyone has seen that he wants to go to Brooklyn. Do I really think that would be a good match for him? Him, Kyrie, and KD. Would that be a super team? Yes. Are teams right now trying to get all the superstars they can under one team? Yes. Would Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, all ball dominant players, be good as working together as one? We saw it last year when Harden played with Westbrook. They weren't able to produce. They weren't able to produce as much as people thought. Are three superstars as those three players going to be able to produce and be able to beat teams such as the Lakers, such as the Clippers, such as the Mavs, such as everyone else?
Ben, I'm gonna let you respond, but I want to say something first. If Harden goes to the Nets, you know what they're gonna be? They're gonna be the Thunder. Way back in the day when it was Westbrook, Harden, and Durant. They're literally three great players, but they need to be on a team by themselves so they can take 50 shots a game. Kyrie and KD are going to be great together because Kyrie played with LeBron, so he knows what it's like to share the spotlight. But if James Harden comes in, it's going to add so much. And Kyrie's already a head case. We need as less, as little confusion in New York and in Brooklyn as possible. And Kyrie, KD, and the rest of the complementary pieces are very good. I'll tell you where I think James Harden's going to go after Ben tells you where he thinks he fits best.
I'm personally a huge fan of what Brooklyn have going right now. I love Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen. Those would be three of the players going back to Houston in a potential deal. And I think that kind of ruins this whole vibe that the Nets have. You know, they made that trade a few years ago to get the 36 and over club with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry. They made that trade, backfired. They're able to rebound and get this young core players. I don't think it's time to ditch it yet. I
I
think
know what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, and I know the Nets have been trying to rebound and rebuild, but as we've seen, it's just not been able to work. It's just not. The Nets have not been able to do anything. Now that they've got some new key players, I think it's time to build around these key players. Out with the old and with the new, get some new players to get it going. They're not going to be able to get it going with these.
You don't think? I think they should have traded for Jrue Holiday, and give up less, keep the core you have, and add Holiday as that third guy. I think three ball dominant all stars might be a little too much. They're going to win a ton of games. They're going to win games in the East. They're going to win playoff games too. They're going to win playoff series. They're just not going to win a championship when you have such a well-oiled machine in LA. That's there to stop them.
Fair.
Yeah, that is a great point. We only have like a minute left, so I'm gonna give my take, and then I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Wrap it up.
We are talking about the wrong team in New York. You guys know where I'm going with this. James Harden, the best fit for you is the Knicks. You need to go there.
I wish.
You need to play there, and you need to play with RJ Barrett and whoever else they want to get. New York, you are not afraid to spend money. Like the Knicks are not, like they should not be afraid to spend money. Dolan, if you want to keep your job, give Harden a max con. I mean, you have your job forever. You're the owner. But if you don't want to be pressured out of New York, you need to get Harden. You need to get good draft picks. And you need to spend money on free agents that aren't Tim Hardaway Jr. and Julius Randle. Like, do better. And I want to hear what you guys have to say, but there's only 30 seconds left. So let's make it quick. 15 seconds each.
I want to talk about that as a Knicks fan, a longtime Knicks fan. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Whatever kind of like positive scenario you're thinking of in your head in which the Knicks get an all-star player, they mess it up somehow. They will mess it up. If if they get James Harden, they'd be trading away RJ Barrett, the first rounder this year, Mitchell Robinson,
Yeah.
all
That's
of them.
all the time we have, and
So
I'm
definitely
excited
not,
for the next
not a
episode.
move.
All right, Max. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks,
It's always
Ash,
an
yeah.
honor.
Of course, we'll talk later.
All right.